Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Good morning to everybody. We're, humbled to have with us this morning uh, Professor Balkhi, the Dean of the Faculty of Fisheries, SCOST K, and also presently holding the charge of Director Education, SCOST Kashmir. So we are, sir, highly grateful to you. You have
Thank
spared
you.
your time this morning and you are with us. Uh,
Thank you very much.
really appreciating. Great to see you in this platform. My participants, before I will formally invite the speaker, let me introduce the speaker to you. We have this morning with us Professor Sayyid Masoodul Hassan Balkhi, who has completed his master's program in zoology with specialization in ichthyology from Kashmir University. Then he did his MPhil and PhD in the Department of Zoology, again from the Kashmir University. And probably Professor Balkhi, his PhD thesis, said to be the first and only thesis in the state of Jammu and Kashmir on aquatic ecology and biodiversity of 100 water bodies of Kashmir, including pools, ponds, roadside ditches, fountains, springs, streams, rivers, lakes, altogether. During his PhD research, Professor Balkhi has given one new species of calanoid copod, the sinus, which was discovered from high altitude lakes of Alapathar and Marsar of Kashmir. That's published in Hydrobiologia 1990. And it stands deposited in the British Museum in London. And Dr. Balkhi started his career as a lecturer in zoology in 1985 in higher education department. Then subsequently joined SCOST in year 1991 as a scientist in fisheries, as scientist of fisheries, and has been working since then in SCOST K in different capacities. He has put more than 30 years service in teaching and research. Then a very, experienced man in administrative also, in administrative affairs, because he has remained for last probably 15, 16 years as Dean of the Faculty Fisheries. A vast experience of administration also. So he is, I feel that he is the person who can be crowned with this specialty that he has. He has basically created, established the Faculty of Fisheries in this past year. He is the person who has put all efforts to get that Faculty of Fisheries established in this past year. That credit really goes to Professor Balkhi, who has carved out of the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences and the Faculty of Fisheries. Uh, Thanks, Professor Balkhi. You are most welcome
Thank you.
to this meeting over here.
Thank you.
Sir, it's over to you. You can start, or is it you that you can start, or it is Professor, it is Chasti who can start it?
I'll give the introductory remarks, then I will hand over to Professor Chasti.
Okay, you are also allowed to share your screen, sir.
I am already sharing that.
Okay.
Good morning to all of my friends. It's really a matter of great joy for me to interact with you this morning. Before I speak anything, I may not be able to be connected with you all along because of a problem in my oral cavity. I will be with you. I will try to be with you for maximum time, inshallah. As Professor Pampori has said 5 things about me, I don't consider myself worth of that. I am as good a human being, as good a scientist as all of you are. Thank you very much, Dr. Pompori, for introducing me in a
Thank you, sir. This is my pleasure, and you deserve it.
very big way. I compliment you for your introductory remarks and also compliment you for organizing this training program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, as I told you that I would not have been comfortable to sit today in this morning here I have a problem in my oral cavity, and that problem is there. I don't know how far my oral cavity will support me to talk today.
We hope so.
As much as support I get from my oral cavity, I will be talking. The moment I feel uncomfortable, I will hand over to my colleague, worthy colleague, Dr. Inayatullah Shasti. So as all of us know that COVID-19 has taken over everything, has thrown many challenges to us in our life. Not at a state level or a country level, at global level, this COVID-19 has thrown many challenges to us. And it has also taught us many lessons. And one of the lessons which it has taught us, out of those lessons, one lesson was about the importance of human health, importance of a sound body and a sound mind, importance of having immunity in a human being. And when we talk of healthy human being and good immunity, the only thing which strikes our mind is healthy food and healthy environment. These are two factors, two important factors which determine health of a human being. And many philosophers in the past have given their observations that even a nation is judged by the quality of human life it possesses, not the quantity. So quality human life is the basic factor, basic important factor to combat various diseases. And this corona virus disease is one amongst those. And we have seen over the period of time that those human beings who were with good health, with better immunity, they were not affected by this virus. It's only those people who were very from very rich families, but unfortunately they had not better immunity. They became victim to this disease. Now, this where from this immunity will come, or where from this healthy human body will come? I have, in my own way, because being a fisheries man, I have my own weaknesses for the subject. Maybe it may be in that context I will say that healthy human being, healthy human life comes from healthy food, what we eat day-to-day basis. And when I look at the availability of food around us, we have the animal food, we have the plant food available with us. Out of all these food materials, I have seen that fish is the best available food for human life, for a healthy human life. If we talk of animal proteins, the best animal protein provided to human being as of now is only the fish meat. Out of all animal meats, fish meat is the best meat available for a healthy human life. Our God has kept it, the factories of hormones, factories of vitamins, factories of amino acids in different animal meats. And this fish is the only animal meat which Allah has kept with such a treasure of value, nutritional value, which other animal meats do not possess. For example, we have 10 essential amino acids. And it is only this fish, my dear colleagues, which Allah has kept in all the essential amino acids in it. You will not find any other animal protein having all the essential amino acids in its meat than the fish meat. And imagine on that basis, this importance of fish meat, how it is important for us. My mouth is signaling something, anyway, I will continue. So, fish meat is the best meat available to human beings on this globe. And now, where from will we get this fish? If I look at global level, I find that globally, there's an absolute bigger need for having more fish available to us. Globally, we are deficient of the desired fish quantity. At national level also, we are deficient of the requisite fish quantity which should be available to human beings. At our state level also, we have a problem in demand and supply. Unless we have sufficient fish production with us, we cannot provide this fish to every human being at a reasonable cost and in a good manner. I was surprised to see some statistics provided by Government of India in recent years that in J&K state, I was seeing the statistics of this state also, we are producing 20,000 and out of this 20,000, 8 more. Imagine you multiply 20,000 by 8 more, 8 times more. You will see I'm deficient of huge quantity. quantity of fish, a state have sufficient quantity of fish available for us to eat. So where from this gap will be bridged? Who will bridge this gap? The only source left to us for bridging this gap, other than capture fishes natural resources, water bodies, lakes, rivers, ponds, etc. We have the aquaculture sector. This this gap will be bridged through aquaculture sector. And this, what will this aquaculture sector provide to us? How will it help us in bridging the gap? That is basically the purpose of today's talk. What are we planning for future? How can we bridge this gap of fish production from present production of 20,000 tons to maybe around 160,000 tons? There's a huge gap in between the two, demand and supply. So keeping that thing in mind, we have prepared this presentation, maybe around 30, 40 slides or 50 slides. It will give a broader picture, a complete picture sector at the global level, and then at the national level, and that at the state level, and then how we can overcome this deficiency of fish in our routine life. In that context, I will request, because I am foreseeing some problem, I will request Dr. Inayatullah Chasti to come forward and speak on this aquaculture presentation. I'll be connected all along. I'll join you back. Dr. Inayatullah Chasti, please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Professor Inayatullah, you may please have a presentation view in your slide.
It's not viewed?
It's not a presentation view. It's a view, but it's not that presentation view. Yeah, exactly. Yes, go there. Yes, yes, yes. It's okay now. You carry on, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum. As the Dr. Amish Balki sir has told that it was in the two sides, was the fisheries was going on from the two sides, that is capture. So the culture fisheries which are exploited more or less we have exploited. So we have switched towards culture. Aquaculture is the this process where we will grow for their ponds, lakes, and cages. That culture which we are going by our own. That is the aquaculture which has a profit, assured profit is there in the aquaculture, which is not having any environmental impact. That is, it is having an ecosystem, eco-balance from social acceptance. And these are coming under the total the sustainable aquaculture, which is the sustainable aquaculture, which gives us assured profit, which is a profitability that will come to that extent, to that level where we will, the farmers, small scale farmers can upliftment that these can be benefited from poor to upliftment of this poverty and the malnutrition. The fish is that product which we are going to get rid of from the malnutrition. That is the hunger and the malnutrition, which are the world's most devastating problem. Nowadays we are seeing these can be, it can be poverty or insecurity. Foods can be developed by, if we will go through this aquaculture. Aquaculture is the food security, food which we are getting the food from the ponds or lake, this cages or a pan culture or integrated aquaculture. That food security we are getting from the income, through income generation. That is not only the just producing the food. We can, that food should be accessed to the feed to the needy. That is the food security which we are getting from the aquaculture can be linked to the poverty and the rural development. For that, if we are having a resources that can be properly utilized, that should be a properly utilized images of, if we go for the open waters having a cage culture, that is the aquaculture can be a provided primary source of income. Aquaculture can be started point of elevation of poverty and rural areas. The malnutrition problem is facing in the malnutrition, insufficient imbalance is there in the rural areas. Those that can be get rid of from there. That can be started from the elevation of poverty through the aquaculture. Aquaculture is the fish is the rich food for poor. That is the animal protein. That is from the developing countries and the developed countries which they have. There are 20% of the animal protein is provided to the 2.6 million people globally. Out of that 2.6 billion people, 30% is developing countries and 13% is from the developed countries. That is, our developed countries have to come upliftment more than the developing countries. They are getting also they are working on that also. So we have to come over through this. We have to more and more so that we can give them at least we are providing this time half of the protein to the 400 million people which are poor, and so because they are doing the same aquaculture practices. This fish is the rich source, as Dr. Bulk sir has told, that fish is the rich protein source of protein, which is having omega and proteins essential. That is omega-3 fatty acid, omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid. Omega-3 is the omega-3 is there. That is DHA, deoxyalanoic acid, deoxyalanoic acid, which gives us a from the brain and the neuron development. And these are the lipid deaths. There are certain deaths from the coronary heart disease. These can be eradicated from the essential fatty acids. Vitamins and the minerals also plays an important role in this. This present global production of the fish production is 70 billion tons. So out of these 17 million, 199 million tons, 46% is from the aquaculture side, and that too is from the 52% which fish food for the human consumption. That in our we have gained a lot from the per capita consumption increased from 20.5 kg in 1980, which has now come up to 20.5 kg in 2018. This is the graph of the this is not only the protein source which you are getting from this world protein source, that is where also take it from the fish, where other mutton and the meat which are there, but the fish is also on the second line of that, which is protein content. So traditionally we are only focused on that fish will give us energy and the protein, but we have seen now micronutrients have also taken place by this. This is the vitamins, minerals, calcium, phosphorus, iodine, and zinc. That 150 billion people have worldwide deficiency of protein, deficiency of vitamin A. 200 million people are having a goiter because of this iodine deficiency. These 2 million people are suffering from population are suffering from iron deficiency. Those are deaths are having because of this zinc deficiency. So fish is having that, this is also having iodine, zinc, and iron. So this is the aquatic environment which is having a complete and unique source of both macronutrients required for the healthy diet. That is only and only comes from this source of the fish which we are having. So the experts have also convincing evidences about the beneficial effect of the outcome of fish which we are consuming. That is, it is a reduction of risk by the death of coronary heart disease can be this can be controlled by if we have a if omega acids, or we are taking lipid fish having a lipid polyunsaturated fatty acid that can be improved for the infants which are taking the which if the fish can be taken during the pregnancy, before and after the pregnancy, it can be developed at that. This can be improved by EPA. Euthanasia is available. That economic importance of the fish, that is the prawn, shellfish on the fin fish, that is internationally traded commodity. About 40% of the global production enters in the international trade from the 10% of meat. That 10% meal worth of 164 million. That gives also that this is the good contribution from the fishery side, that export of the 10% gives us 164 exports. This export, we are not going to export only the fish. There is also the fish and fish products like cereals, dairy, coffee, sugar, and oil seeds are also there. In developing countries, the foreign exchange is coming from exports, fish exporters, that is financing the other food items. They will food items other like or the sugar, coffee, or the oil seeds which are having. So this is the chart which are having a export. World capture fisheries are having this is towards moving towards the this fish which are having aquaculture is having on the higher side, because initially it was captured fishes was on the top. Now the aquaculture is going on the top. These are the data which we are having in 19. It was 6.4 million tons. Now it has reached to 20.5 million tons in 2018. So the Indian dairy, if we take as total production was 12.61 million metric tons. From the capture fishing, it was 7, and the aquaculture side, it was 5.61 million tons. So the per capita consumption is 9.8, which we are having a lake as we are having this time this production. So which so far fisheries of J&K scenarios concerned, we are having a 2,000 as the fisheries department is a 20.15 as we are required 81.5. Minister of Statistical Post Program and Implementation has said that per capita demand should be 13 kgs. If we take 50% of the population of J&K, the basics increase our production from the fishery side in our Kashmir. So 81.56 tons we have required as per the Minister of State's Post and Program and Implementation, Government of India data 2011. This is the aquaculture important. Aquaculture is the fastest growing as we are seeing aquaculture and the capture culture fisheries. Aquaculture is the fastest growing agriculture community, which is increasing from last 2 decades 6 per year. That is a very good increase. In the 15 million tons was in 1985, which has 82.5 million tons in 2008. That is out of this aquaculture, 80% is coming from the small scale holders, which are having only less than 2 hectares of area in the developing country. And total demand for the unit biomass, if we will produce 1 kg of protein, for that we have need of 13 kg. If we will make a protein from the other beef, that will 61 kg is required for a 1 kg of protein. If we are, this is the 70. First, we are in 1950 only 72 species. Now it has reached 2,336 species are now at the present time. So we have an increase. We cannot increase the catches from the capture mission because it's essential that sustain the current catches. So if we were failure to sustain that catches, that can be having a consequence on health of the poor people, health of the health, income and livelihood and well-being of the poor people in the developing countries will suffer if we, because now the future only and only here is the development through the quick recovery is only and only seen in the small scale fisheries and the sustainable agriculture fisheries. That is the small scale fisheries is that we are going to have small scale farmers for sustainability of the aquaculture that can be only profitable through the aquaculture system. This adoption of the sustainable aquaculture is the benefits for their livelihood security and the elevation from the poverty. These are small fisheries farmers for the which are going for the pond culture, and for this, if they will face during the cultural practice, if they recognize any complexity or state of change, if they face any complexity or challenges faced in the robot, that can be provided through us. We can provide them knowledge to by the different means or tools through the models, and so that they will have a changes what they have needed to change, or they have to make their improvement what they want to improve. So the fisheries production can be increased more and more. The fish, this is the sustainable aquaculture which we are taking. That if we will take off, allowed to be globally, particularly in the developed countries, the fish is having a production technologies are available, market demand is there, and the fish which you are going to have a culture that is having does not have any devastating effect on the environment. So these are eco-friendly, also socially acceptance is there. They can go for this small scale fisheries. The small scale fisheries is the important sub-production for this is the small scale fisheries which is the bordering the capture fisheries and the culture fisheries only for the food and the nutrition security. When these both will be covered, then it will be sustained for the whole. Small scale sector which accounts for the global KH. These are small scale accounts about the KH from the small scale fisheries. That is 90% of the world fishes that catch is coming from the small scale fisheries. So nearly all the small scale fisheries catches can be that we are culturing from or for best for the human consumption. In contrast, we will have the industrial sector that will be for the non-consumer consumptive uses. That is for the if we are pearl culture or other culture. So the vision of ours is a total production which is expected, which was in the previous years from 2018, it was up to 179 million tons. Not, now we have to expand this by the modern technologies and by using the proper utilization of the resources. This can be expanded up to 2000. This is our vision that it should be reached up to 204 million tons in 2000. The aquaculture production is projected that is it was 82.1 million tons was in 2018. Now it has to increase by 32%. That is 26 million tons should be reached in the 2030. And actually this was the aquaculture and the culture fisheries and the capture fisheries in 2016. We are getting 73, 44% were getting from the aquaculture, and the captures at that time was giving us as a 56%. Now, now we are seeing to 2030, we will predict that it will come into 50% will come from the aquaculture side and 50% will from the aqua fisheries. This is the world's fish utilization. The supply we have per year we are having a supply of 3.2. Population is 1.47 per year. Should be from the utilization of this is the 2018. That is 88% we are utilizing from the human consumption. That is 12% which we are getting from the 179 million tons. 88% is for the human consumption and 12% is only for non-consumptive use. This is the fish production which is Asia is contributing the more. In this Asia, 89% is coming from the Asia and South Asia, 27%. The rest of the world is only 1.11 point. That is Asia contributes 84% of the from the total production. Asia will continue to, Asia is contributing a lot for to dominate this aquaculture sector. The response of 89% has increased from the production. That will be, it is our vision now. Asia is contributing 82%. That it should now, from 2030, it should reach up to 89% to total income. So this sector is Asia is dominating, but we are going to expand also. The Africa should be 48% should be driven from the culturing capacity. So we will divert attention towards Africa also, that they will give also as a good culturing capacity. So the majority of this which we are going to culture by the culture done by the Asian countries or African countries, the major species which we are going to culture in the global production is coming from the carps, which are having Indian major carp or Chinese major carp, and the pungases, that is catfish is there, which also gives us a production. There are also the production is coming from the higher value species also, that is the shrimp and salmon and the trout. Trout contributes a lot. In our Kashmir, we are also going from this carp culture, and the trout is also going to in our state also. Capital production is projected to be high level, reaching about 96 million tons. Actually, it was 90 million tons. Now we are where our vision is that it should reach up to factors that which will boost or which will increase the production of the cap. That is, we have to increase the areas where the stocks are not recovered yet, or the growth in the catches in the waters with a few countries takes place because of the this one recovering stage. That is where underfished area should be resolved. The important utilization that which we are taking a harvest from the catches from the sea and other sources. That captured fish was going by fish was utilized for more into fish meal or oil should. That should be reduced. That for the human. This is the catch we are global capture fisheries in the size. 46 was for the aquaculture. Now it has in 2018 54 from the capture fisheries. Now in the 2030, this will 46 will become up to 59%, and the 47 will be the capture fishery side. This is the global fish catch, which are 50-50 should be. In per the as per in per capita in capita terms, fish consumption was we are seeing that 20.5 kg per capita, but it should be our vision is that it will 2030 it will come at 21.5 kg in 2030. In 2030, 59% of fish is available from the human consumption originate from the aquaculture production, which is our vision that it should come to 52, it should reach up to 59% of fish should be available for human consumption. So the bulk of the growth is from export. We are expecting exporting 40% of the total. That will be increased in our vision. It should be that 73%, 73% additional export for the coming years. World trade of the fish consumption is expected to grow 9% by 2030. In recent years, that aquaculture production, this capture fisheries has been now has been flagged to 90 billion. But this can be if we will production of the capture fisheries, or if we will the catches that we have to 6.5 that we can increase by the better management through ecosystem approach by the significant increase of the capture fishes. While we are taking this sustainable aquaculture increasing from date per year, it is increasing 6%. Now we are expecting that it should be faster than that. 6.5% should be in the current years. However, if all the inputs were in the sufficient amount, that will provide 16 to 47 million tons of production in the coming years of 2030. There are challenges in the capture fisheries and the aquaculture practice. That's the less we will go for the capture fisheries. If we were 9% should be cash should be increased, we have to grow through these challenges. That less utilization and low productivity of water bodies. That water bodies which are more and more. There should be a growing demand of quality seed. That seed which you are having, that should be a quality seed, selective breeding seeds, or the increasing competition of the resources users, the water bodies which we are using for the fisheries point of view, that should be increase in the resources from this. If they are using other power generation, and there should be layers for the fish use, or there should be a fish passes so that our resources cannot be declined. The lack of there should be a proper policy for the lease of public waters. That if we are having reservoirs on the lease, that should be under the control of government, so that they can be that production can be reached to the up to 80%. The processing facilities which we are getting a catch from the all over the world, which are getting a catch, some of the fish we are not having a proper facilities at the when we are taking a catch from the so that there should not be no, there should be not that which we are getting a catch from the sea. That ships should have a facility of proper facilities and value addition facilities. The assurance of food safety and quality of export potential, we should make a fish up to that level. It should be a very good export quality through that can be done through the research and trainings, which will go for the religiously if we will go for the export quality of fish. The alternative support should be given to our fishers that banned fishing season or the fishing time, they are not having a totally ban for the fishing. So at that time, there should be a alternative livelihood support to our farmers. Security fishermen along with the maritime and the maritime borders where we are crossing the border, there should be a problem on that. At that time, there should be also the security facility for the fishermen. So the second hour of the South Asian countries which have taken this sustainable development goals which have taken place on these 17 goals. Among them was the this elevation of poverty, hunger, and best education, best quality food, and this food security and all the other these are the frame and framework is developed for the development of the sustainable development goals. Under that, this sustainable development, United Nations is working on that also. Coordinating the fisheries development integrated approach for it. So we'll go for the rainbow revolution of the integrated development for the crop, agriculture, horticulture, or forestry or fisheries. These are with the integrated side. We will go for the fish paddy culture, poultry fish culture, or the paddy fish culture. That is the integrated type of fish cultures. On that, there are also Mudra Bank or Skill India, Make in India goals will also fisheries maximize this sector so that they will extend the whole from the south. These are the some government taken by the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, which are taking utilize neglected water bodies. If we will that area which are having a seasonal water is there, or neglected water bodies are there which are shallow, that can be also come into fisheries point of park aquaculture purposes. Brood banks, if we will take a selective breeding purposes, for we should have a brood bank for that, so that we will have a, if we are having a disease resistance or we have a resistance required, that will be taken from the brood bank. So we will establish such type of banks that will be these certificates which you have a need of that by through the this can also be made by the through we are using as a feed. These farm made feeds should be good quality and that locally available ingredients should be made so that it will be cheap and best. Genetic stock which we are having is modified if they are accepting like that genetic stock assessment can be done. Disease surveillance should disease we should have a full control of the disease so that there will be any sort of aquaculture dives water budgeting is there. The encouraging fishermen for smartphones, if we will provide them smartphones also through the cage culture and GPS that can show the growth and also the this all allowing them term extend will be this should be fishermen should be institutional linkage and capacity building so that their production can be increased by this. So SAGA has participated programs of development through the consultation with the experts of SOC committee, prioritized 20 programs. Programs, the fish diversity management in trans boundaries rivers from the one state and another state. There will be a transboundary management also. Both the countries will take into consideration climate change impact on fisheries. Their temperature is the man which we are giving climate change. So their breeding, feeding, and all the will be disrupted. For that, we have to work on over it so that can be surviving there on their base also. Through the best management practices of the aquaculture, foreign-made feeds, we will maintain this threatened if they are there for that. So brood stock management is there, fish disease diagnosis. These are the which are taking place. The small-scale fisheries greatly contribute to the nutrition, food security, sustainable livelihood, and the poverty of the elevation of the 96% of the world fishers are small-scale fishers, and 87% of the world fishers live in ASEAN Pacific regions directly. They are full-time or time, seasonal time they are doing, but they are working. The catch of 50th global fish catch is there. At least 20% is employed in the fish, getting $1 per. Which is impact on the fisheries and the aquaculture, making fisheries more analyzing vulnerabilities in the fishery or the aquaculture system, which will be taking place already. Being unutilized water bodies in the aquaculture as an horizontal expansion so that it can be horizontally expanded also. Practicing aquaculture in the seasonal waters and the climate change mitigations through the stocking through mitigation that can be done in this. These are the traditional home ponds which are small scale fishes are getting, and they are also getting the fish and which are locally available in they are taking in that. These are the small scale traditional home ponds. This is the paddy cum fish culture in the integration system where paddy cum can be done. This is the poultry cum fish culture. Poultry will, in the night hours that will remain in the house, and the daytime they will come in the dikes or in the ponds. This is the cage culture which we are going to have. This is the cage culture in the tilapia culture in the open waters, where all the we will invest our resources that is this type of the cage culture, which are small space, we are getting such type of good production that can be done through the small scale. Intensive management of tilapia in the raceways, or these are the raceways which are we intensive raceway system is there for this. These are the selective breeding, selective human on demand basis. We can give a feed also. This can be done in a small batch where continuously water is going on, so we can go for the raceway culture. So intensive. These seaweed culture can also be done. So the aquaculture in marine aquaculture is fast growing subsector in the aquaculture. It caters high end market. Breeding technologies are offered for more species. Wild caught potential is there. Having a 5 billion market we are getting from the ordinary fisheries, that is non-food species, which are also industrial side. 15 million industries are there. Seaweed farming 5.6 million in the market of. There are still challenges are there regarding the impact of declining land resources are there. Increased aquatic animal health concerns are there. Protect environment for the different means by so the sustainable aquaculture crisis in the past, while not available information indicate contribution of aquaculture to poverty, elevation, food security, employment, trade, and gender opportunities is on the increase. Long-term sustainability of aquaculture, economic, social, and environmental contribution of food security depends on commitment of government and good governance. So the fishing goes back to ancient time and believe that integral growth and evolution. Perhaps it is a time to emphasize its importance to make this a major part of global economic growth. Hope the efforts of partnership will be augments fisheries and aquaculture as a vibrant tool for the poverty eradication. The gap between the demand and the supply of fish can be achieved in coming years through aquaculture by adopting pen cage culture practices, pen cage and pen culture practices. This COVID pandemic has affected most of the countries in the world with impact on the global economy and the food production and the distribution sector, including fisheries and aquaculture. FO is monitoring on the situation closely to assess overall impact of pandemic for fisheries and aquaculture production, consumption, and trade. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chasti. Thanks a lot. Your boss is there. Our boss is there. You can just close your screen, please, so that we can have the interaction with our participants over here. Professor Balki, you please unmute yourself. Yes. Is there any Professor Balki? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Is there any Manish? Manish? Thank you, Professor Chasti. Thank you, Professor Balki sir, for the nice talk over here. Before meeting, we will take the questions from the participants. There was some Manish. I don't know. Can you please raise the hand, Manish? Manish, can you please raise the hand? I don't know. I got that's in the chat box. I got one message from Manish, who is there, but I don't know where he is this time. Anyway, he says, Manish Kumar says, as per your presentation, the fish production in Kashmir is stagnant. Is it stagnant? I don't know. It is stagnant from last 15 years, and Faculty of Fisheries was also established 15 years back. Can you give me the reason why there is no impact of opening a new fisheries faculty on fish production on Kashmir, in Kashmir? Professor, yes.
The observation by my friend is not correct.
Okay.
It is not stagnant. A lot of progress has been made from yesteryears. Now it is a question of noticing that change. If you go 20 years back or 50 years back, production was not as high as 20,000 as projected by state fisheries J&K government. And number one. Number two, the population of the endemic fish species, which is called as Schizophrenicidis, it was not as good as it is today. In particular, the species Schizophrenicidis niger. If my friend knows about this species was facing great challenges in natural resources. And with the intervention of Faculty of Fisheries of this university's cost, with the development of seed production technology for this species, our university's cost has been able to produce sufficient seed of this Schizophrenicidis niger snow trout, and that has been released into Dal Lake, Kashmir, by none other than the State Fisheries Department people themselves after purchasing that seed from Sukast. So these are the developments, few developments which perhaps my friend has not observed over the period of time. There's no need to open new faculty of fisheries in view of the fact that cold water fisheries is nicely being catered, addressed by the current faculty of fisheries. However, there's no objection to opening any number of faculties in the state or in the country, given the requirement. So
No,
far as cold water fisheries sector is concerned, it is being catered nicely by Spas Kashmir, and it has contributed also very well to the development of this sector in the past. I think my student Manish may not have observed that change.
okay, he is not of the view that we should open other college or I mean the fishery college. He says, what was the impact of the fishery college which has been established 15 years back? And
Impact, right. Impact is nothing other than the human resource has been produced not only for J&K related to cold water fisheries, but for the whole country. My friend may be knowing that our students were also from Arunachal, Sikkim, and he can inquire, my friend can inquire from those states how our students are performing well, how they have contributed to the development of fisheries in their own states. In our state, our students are adjusted right and left, and they are contributing to the fisheries department of the state also. What else contribution does one need to know? This is the contribution, the human resource produced by this college, by this university, is evident from the development which has taken place in state fisheries department. That's all what is happening around.
okay, Dr. Mohi is there, please go ahead.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
You're audible, yes.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Yes, walaikum
Assalamu
assalam.
alaikum. Sir, thank you for your impressive and elaborate presentation. I really have the proud privilege of being your student, sir. And
Thank
you
you, God
truly are
bless
an
you.
embodiment of knowledge. You have been an
God bless
inspiration
you.
and a mentor for me.
God bless you.
And I always look forward to listening to your words of
God
wisdom.
bless you.
Thank you so
God
much, sir.
bless you.
Sir, in your presentation, you said that fish is poor man's food. And talking about the Kashmir scenario,
Yes, I could get your question. You are right.
don't you
It is
think that although
it is no more a poor man's food. You are right.
sir,
Yes,
don't you
please.
think that although it's available but it's not accessible for poor people because of high cost and
Very
its
correct. Very
acceptability
correct. I support your
and
viewpoint.
consumption
You are
and
genuinely concerned. You
it
are
has its
genuinely
consumption
concerned.
has decreased in households because of lower
Right.
costs and
Right.
easy
Right.
availability of broiler chicken.
That is very correct. You are saying.
What steps do you suggest for
I
Kashmir
support
so
your
that
viewpoint. The production, that is what I said in the introductory address, that the production and the demand, there is such a huge gap that it becomes difficult sometimes to think whether we'll be able to bridge that gap or not. But still, we have to be hopeful about that. we have to put in efforts. The question which you posed, how can we overcome this problem? I had put an information there in the presentation that we have to concentrate profusely on aquaculture, and in aquaculture we have not to think of constructing ponds on the terrestrial ground. We have to think of utilizing the existing rivers and lakes which are with us in plenty. We have to think
Yes.
of utilizing them in the form of pen culture and cage culture. These are two
Yes.
cultures, aquaculture practices, which I don't think I have seen anywhere right and left in the Kashmir Valley, where we are resorting to pen or cage culture. I think there is a time that government of J&K should think seriously about introducing cage culture and pen culture to increase the production of fish. That will to a great extent address this problem of fish production, less fish production. Unless there is more production, there cannot be lower costs.
Yes, sir.
More production will be lesser cost.
Yes, sir.
And then
Yes, sir.
till that time, your poor people will again keep on suffering for want of
Yes.
fish at a reasonable rate, what you have observed.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes.
also have the same viewpoint. We are strongly working on that line, my dear student. We are working hard on that line. Inshallah, in coming years, we will have some relief on that. But that needs a cooperation from the development department also, cooperation from government of J&K also. Inshallah, we are not sleeping. We are awake to this problem. Your point of concern will be addressed, inshallah, with due attention in coming years. God bless you.
Is Dr. Sheikh Firdaus as usual?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, I want to ask one thing. In the start of your presentation, sir, you said fish is the complete food. It has the micronutrient, it has the amino acids, it has the fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, and all the things. Once we are attending some lecture from livestock professional, he will say that cattle is this. We have milk is a complete food. Then if we have someone from goat sector, he will say goat is poor man's cow. If we have someone from poultry, he will say egg is a complete
Yeah,
food. These all are factual things. I accept that.
right.
If we have something from computer sector, computer sciences, he will say, okay, without computers you will do nothing. For bioinformatics, they will say, if you have all the things, without me you cannot do anything. So I want to ask whether isn't it feasible and a wisdom thing that we should go for integrated approach? Integrated approach means we should have. For example, we have 18 sub disciplines in animal husbandry. We have 58 ARS disciplines. We have so many disciplines in fishery sector also. Isn't it feasible and wisdom thing that we should integrate majority of things so that conclusive evidences are there, whatever research we are
You are
doing?
right, my friend. You are very correct. It's not only feasible, it's very essential to have integrated farming systems with us. There's no doubt in that. We can integrate fish with every other component, which even I have not shown in the slide. There's no component of agriculture per se which we cannot integrate with fish culture. Every component around us can be integrated with fish culture. And I was not talking of that fish is the only good food. I was telling you something which I will repeat. That fish is the only food which possesses all the essential amino acids. It is no other fish meat is there. Nobody can come forward and tell me, okay, this sheep meat has all the essential amino acids. It doesn't have. Who can say that? Only fish has essential amino acids which are required by human body. All the 10 essential amino acids. So that cannot be challenged by any person, or that has nothing to do with poultry or meat or some other thing.
No, sir,
Every
I'm
food is
not.
important. Every food is important, my dear friend. But I was talking in the context of availability of food and requirement of need of fish for human population. The availability of fish is very important for human health. It is not available there. What Dr. Moiz said just now, the quantity which we need to eat is not available to me in the market. It should be available to me for my good health. That was the only point which I wanted to make. So far as you are saying that integration is important, it's not important. I say it is most important. We must go for integration of fish with other components, no doubt in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right.
Is there anyone? Yes. Any other? Is there any other? I
Dr.
think
Pampori is going on very methodically.
no one is.
Dr. Pampori, you know, my oral cavity is not a normal oral cavity.
Sir,
I wonder how I'm able to talk.
sir,
Because earlier my mouth bled, little bit bled. And my mouth has a bleeding problem because of the tooth problem. So somehow I am enjoying this interaction. I compliment you for
It is
conducting
not
this program
we
so
love,
elegantly,
love,
so elegantly.
love to
I
listen
salute
to
you. I salute you.
we
I
love
salute you.
dear.
God bless you. Carry on, please.
That's there, sir. We want interaction with you because we love to listen to you.
I know it. God bless you.
Know
Please
that
carry on.
you are
Carry
a
on.
you
I
are a
will remain with you for whole time. No problem.
can
Please.
sustain our training program. That's
Right, please. Carry on. Carry on, please. No
sir,
problem.
I don't think there is any other question from any other quarter.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God
we
bless you.
take this privilege. Is there Hina? Hina
Congratulations.
is there? Hina, please unmute yourself. Hina?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is the time
Hamdani,
to say
good girl.
thanks to our professor. Please go ahead.
Respected Professor Balki Saab and Professor Chasti Saab, Assalam.
Yes, my child. Walaikum assalam. God bless you.
We are really honored to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Heartiest gratitude to both of you on behalf
Thank
of
you.
the committee and the participants for this
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
paradigms of fisheries sector in meeting the goal of zero hunger.
God bless you.
We are deeply obliged by you, Professor Balki Saab, for taking all the pains to join us today, in spite of the fact that you are unwell.
God
This
bless you.
as youngsters especially, yet another lesson of commitment and dedication.
God bless you.
Grateful to you, sir, for that.
God bless you.
Fastest recovery. Thank you once again
Thank
and
you.
soon.
Thank you. Thank you. My congrats to you, the good team, excellent team. God
Thank
bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks
Okay,
for
bye. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. So we are
Allah.
ending this meeting and we'll be assembling in the afternoon session. Please
God
be
bless you.
here before time.